So this week it's Friday Night Lights for Manchester United. It's all very strange. Why are we playing on a Friday? Nobody will ever know for sure. It's Manchester United and Southampton. This is our preview. I'm joined by Squawker Dave, Adam and Gaz. Let's start with the question that every single Manchester United fan is asking. Will Paul Pogba start, Adam?
Oh, I thought the question was, will Fellaini start?
Adam.
Paul Pogba. You have to start him, don't you? It's Friday night at Old Trafford, under the floodlights. Start the man. Just start him. I think he'd get through it on adrenaline alone, even if he isn't fully match fit. And you can take him off after 60 minutes anyway. But I'd start him, give the crowd a lift. Not that we need it so far going into this season. And give the team a lift on the pitch as well. I still think we weren't perfect against Bournemouth. We weren't the greatest in terms of the speed of movement through the midfield. And I think when we play either Carrick or Fellaini, Rooney and Ibra, it can tend to be very slow down the middle. So bring in Pogba and let's see what he's got. His second debut in the Premier League. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Well, it'll be his first full start, won't it? If it was to happen, his first proper debut.
Yeah.
Gaz, Paul Pogba.
I was just saying to Adam before we started the preview, I cannot believe that we're doing a preview for a United game where Paul Pogba could be in the lineup. Honestly, it's still.
Oh, I thought you were
going
to say that thing about your mum, Gaz.
You know what I mean? If they're clever with it, it's fine. But when you just fucking shite with it like that, right? Anyway, Paul Pogba. I'm absolutely buzzing for him to be back at United. I'm not asked about the money, and I like Adam says, on a Friday night where you can just feel like going out on the piss after if United get the win. It would be mint if Paul Pogba was to start and was to actually have a good game. However, if he doesn't start, which I still think is a little bit of a possibility due to him not having a lot of match fitness, whatever the frig that means, then I'm not really too fussed as long as it's the likes of Ander Herrera or someone in for him alongside someone like Michael Carrick. But we know it won't be. We know it'll be Marouane Fellaini. So I am fully hoping that Paul Pogba starts because he's one of the best in the world. Can't wait to watch him at Old Trafford.
Can I say, Fellaini probably deserves to start, you know.
You don't know. Yeah, I tell you what, Fellaini had an all right game against Bournemouth, but there's no way he's a United caliber player, and there's no way you can keep playing him in games and expect him to have similar levels of performance. He has the one-off game, doesn't he, as he does every now and then, but there's no way he's consistently good enough to play for United, in my opinion. Anyway.
All right, we'll get on to Fellaini in a bit, but let's get back to Paul Pogba.
Fellaini.
Dave, what do you think? Guys, come on now, let Dave talk. What do you think about Pogba being at Manchester United and the discussion of match fitness? I mean, only a month ago he was playing in the European Championships final.
I don't think that's an issue. I think that footballers play lots of football these days, so I think throwing Pogba in right now is absolutely fine. What he will give United is it's that tempo change, it's that ability to drive through midfield with the ball at his feet, get shots away. It's a completely different player to anyone in our midfield. But I would say, I agree with Matt that Fellaini's been pretty awesome this season. Misplaced a single pass against Bournemouth, won 6 tackles, more than any other player on the pitch. But I feel like Pogba is a different calibre of player that will score goals, will create chances. So I feel get Pogba in under the lights with potentially playing an attacking midfielder in Wayne Rooney ahead of him. Let those two combine, let those two switch positions. I think that could be an absolute dream combination for Manchester United.
Okay, Paul, according to Squawker Dave, Fellaini is having a great season so far if you discount his performance for Leicester in the Community Shield. All right, we can talk about Fellaini now, and also people like Juan Mata, Daily Blind, people that the newspapers have told us will be leaving Manchester United, might be leaving. Do the players that we've seen starting games and being involved in games like Fellaini and Mata, do you think their future is now safe and secure for at least the following season? Or do you think there'll be others joining Bastian Schweinsteiger likely to leave Manchester United over the next few weeks? Adam?
I don't think the papers know a lot, let's be honest. They didn't really know much about Pogba till it became public knowledge, really. They didn't know much about Mickey T, Eric Bailly. So I don't really think you can read much into it. They said Timothy Fosu-Mensah was on his way out when he was injured because he wasn't in training. So sometimes they put 2 and 2 together and get 5. Now with Daily Blind being one of Louis van Gaal's main players and someone that kind of epitomised his philosophy, Juan Mata being sold by him when he was at Chelsea, I think it's easy to say those guys will be sold. But I think with Daily Blind, Eric Bailly has been getting a lot of credit recently, credit that he deserves, but I think a lot of it does deserve to go to Daily Blind as well, who has looked calm, cool and collected alongside him at the heart of defence. I still think we need to strengthen there, but Daley Blind is showing that he deserves to stay at Manchester United. And as I said before, if we put him up for sale, there'd be a whole host of clubs after him, top clubs, because the guy's an absolute baller. So I think both players will stay. I think they deserve to stay. Whether they stay beyond, this season and next season after, because then Jose Mourinho will get a few more transfer windows, and you'll get to see if they really are his kind of players. But I think this season they could have a big part to play. And Juan Mata seems to have got, you've seen it when he got the hook at Wembley, he seems to have got this little nasty streak to him now, doesn't he? Like he's thinking, fuck this, I deserve to stay here, I deserve to play here, and he's showing it on the pitch at the moment. So they've kind of spurred these guys on. I think there will be a few to leave. I hope Andres Pereira leaves, but only on loan, similar to Adnan, because he's a huge talent. But I don't think there'll be any big names.
Okay, Gaz, you were talking about Fellaini a moment ago. Do you expect him to stay, him to go? Anybody else?
I think that Fellaini maybe is one that needs to be a little bit more worried than the likes of Daley Blind and Juan Mata, because I don't necessarily think that he's going to go, but I think the only reason he started against Bournemouth was because Mourinho was desperate to have that sort of big physical player in midfield. Now he's obviously got that with Paul Pogba. I don't think Daley Blind and Juan Mata are going to be going anywhere. They wouldn't have featured in the two games like they have done. The first game like they have done, and in the Community Shield as well. I thought Daley Blind was great against Bournemouth. He was my man of the match, actually. And I thought Juan Mata was great as well. I don't think either of those two will be going. Like Adam said, I can see a few youngsters going on loan, maybe some getting sold, the likes of James Wilson, maybe Will Keane as well. But I'd rather see them go out on loan. Pereira is another one. Basically, all the youngsters who aren't going to get many games this season, I actually want to see go out on loan. There's no point keeping them at the club. Just let them go out on loan, let them get some experience, just like Jose's done with Adnan. And it's something that he always did with other clubs as well, let players go out on loan. And probably too much as well, some people would say at times. But with these youngsters, I don't think they're going to get many games with this absolutely stellar squad that we've got at the minute. So, yeah, let them all go out on loan and see what they can do. Give them one last chance to prove the worth to Jose. And then if they've still not done anything at the end of the year, let them go. But, yeah, in terms of big names getting sold, I can't see anyone going.
Okay. Dave, do you agree?
What Gaz said in the middle of that, by the way, was that Fellaini and Pogba are similar players, guys. So, in the comments, some of you.
Don't listen to him.
Go on, Dave, what do you think?
I'm in a completely different opinion. I think a midfield of Marouane Fellaini and Paul Pogba with someone sitting behind like a Michael Carrick could be quite a good answer for Manchester United. Would give a lot of aggression, would give a lot of pace. A lot of physicality, which United have actually lacked for a bit. But, I'd just like to see it one day, see what happens. Mourinho, just throw it out there. Maybe in one of the bigger games, drop to three-man midfield against the likes of Manchester City. But with players going out, again, I can't really see many players go. I'd probably say Rojo should potentially be on his way. Juan Mata as well. I think it won't be now where he'll go, but I reckon it may be January. He was very, very good going forward against Bournemouth. But again, we saw his lapses in concentration. A number of through balls went down his side. Didn't track his fullback very well, so I don't know if he is a Mourinho player. I like that he's got this aggression, I like that he's got this hunger, but it just doesn't fit into the system for me, and it's sad, but potentially will be gone in January. I think Marouane Fellaini's got to stay, Daley Blind definitely got to stay, he was absolutely awesome against Bournemouth. I love how he's really evolved as a player, and it's something that's credit to him. How many positions he's played, defensive midfield, left back, and now centre back, and now he's becoming a really good centre back, and it's very impressive. And if you've got Bailly being a little bit more aggressive, and then Blind just being calm, collective, making the blocks at the right time, there were two moments in the game against Bournemouth that's really highlighted his evolution. One was Jordan Ibe stood him up 1v1 on a counter attack, nicked the ball away and went away. Daley Blind no longer has to deal with his lack of pace. He can read the game so well. And then there was a block where I think again Ibe came inside, beat Shaw, who gets over Daley Blind. So I feel he's becoming a real top-class centre-back, which, if we'd said that at the start of last season, you would have called me mad.
Fair enough. Adam.
Yeah.
Southampton.
Sam.
What would your
Sam.
team... What?
Sam, before we start this, we have these moments on previews, me and you, Sam, where I ask you a question and you deliver a great answer to it that kind of seems to unify everyone in opinion. So, Sam, question for you.
Yeah.
I get a lot of shit for saying stuff about
you're a
Wayne
knob.
Rooney. Yeah, apart from that, for saying stuff about Wayne Rooney. I love Wayne Rooney, but I don't think he should be starting, and that's why I think Matt and Mickey T should really be first choices in number 10 position. Sam, do you agree?
I think Wayne Rooney offers... Definitely, I believe that Wayne Rooney has a place in Manchester United's squad. I don't know that there are many people in the team that you should be saying, this person definitely starts each week, but I do see Leicester manage to win the league by making so few changes all through the season. So I think that consistency of a starting 11 is very beneficial. Whether Wayne Rooney is the right man to start at number 10, I am not convinced. However, because I think Mata and Mkhitaryan offer more in their overall gameplay. I think they're faster, and in terms of their ball play, Wayne Rooney's first touch isn't always the most reliable. I do believe there is a lack of balance between how fans in the UK feel about Wayne Rooney and fans outside of the UK. I don't mean that on some sort of geography in terms of we're closer to Old Trafford, therefore the way we feel is better. I just think it's a difference of opinion, perhaps because Wayne Rooney is English. So I think the relationship is different. I'm much more likely to criticise Wayne Rooney than I am, say, Juan Mata, because I've met Juan Mata and I really like him. So, and I think that's true of lots of fans in terms of if you're English, you look at Wayne Rooney, you go like, I'm sort of sick of you. There's stuff you've done I don't like. And if you're outside of the UK, you feel the club just as much as everybody else. But I think the relationship is different.
Branding's better.
But I do think that we wouldn't have won the FA Cup without Wayne Rooney. His performance in the semi-final was magnificent, and he did that Lukaku header off the line really early, and his contribution before Mata's goal was something that I don't think another player on the pitch would have done. You wouldn't get Juan Mata beating 3 or 4 men in the dying moments and putting in a ball like that. So I think Rooney is still an excellent footballer who offers a lot to Manchester United. But if I was deciding my ideal starting lineup, he probably wouldn't be in it. I would have him as an impact player on the bench.
See,
so
guys,
if it was me, then probably not in the starting 11, but I do think he has a place.
Sam for Prime Minister.
Those are my thoughts of the day. Thanks very much. So let's talk about the starting 11 for the Southampton game. Adam, what would your team be?
Sam, I love you, mate.
I love you too, buddy.
My 11 is David De Gea in goal, Antonio Valencia, Bailey, Blind. Well, Bailly, let me say it properly. Bailly, Blind.
Fuck that, Bailey.
Guys, I'm not...
Blind Bailey.
I'm Fozzie Menzie. Whatever it is you say these days.
Fozzie
Right.
Menza.
Adam, do you remember that young lad, Jan Uzaj?
Oh, yeah. I do
Jumanji.
remember that. Right. All right. So my team is De Gea, Valencia, Bailly, Blind, and Luke Shaw. I think Blind should keep his spot in the team, even with Chris Smalling potentially returning. Then I'll go with Carrick and Pogba as that two central midfielders. I think Carrick starting will allow Pogba, who will probably be like trying to score a goal on his debut and all sorts. He'll be getting backwards, he'll be getting forwards, and Carrick just sitting there mopping things up will be good for Pogba to have alongside him. Then I'll go with Mickey T, let him make his debut at home. With all the attention being on Paul Pogba, I think it could be a good day for him. I'll go with Mickey T, Wayne Rooney, Anthony Martial,
Sod
and
off, mate.
Zlatan. So that means Mata's been
Sod
dropped.
off. You've picked the exact same team as me, though.
Yeah, I don't think Mata will be dropped, and deservedly so, but for some reason I think Mickey T might start. So that's my team.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to pick a different one now. I replaced that exact same team, but replace Mkhitaryan with Jesse Lingard. Let's just assume that he's going to be back. I think that's going to be the team that plays. I think Carrick playing alongside Paul Pogba is something that'll work quite well, and I think that'll probably be Jose Mourinho's go-to centre midfield combination, hopefully anyway. I prefer that to Marouane Fellaini getting anywhere near there. As for Wayne Rooney, I know Dave loves him. Dave loves him. But Wayne Rooney, I think, has to play this game. I think against Bournemouth, I thought that he got unnecessary criticism, and I'm always the first one to criticise him when he does mess up and he does have his poor performances, which is quite a lot when he's playing number 10 or number 9. I don't think he was that bad. I thought that he linked up really well with Zlatan Ibrahimovic at times. That little flick over, admittedly, Wayne Rooney should have finished that little chance where Zlatan flicked it to him, but at the same time, there's not many other strikers who would have been able to shove off the defender in the same way that Wayne Rooney did. So those two were swapping, interchanging throughout the whole game. I think Wayne Rooney has to play. And yeah, obviously, the rest of the team sort of really picks itself at the minute. The defence is brilliant. Even if Smalling's back for this game, I think I'd still play Bailey and Blind just because of how they performed against Bournemouth. And the Charity Shield as well. It wasn't their fault they conceded a goal in that. It was the microphone's fault.
Fair enough.
Fault.
Dave, what's your team?
So if it was my team, if I was on the touchline, I would be dropping Wayne Rooney 100%. I'd play a midfield with Ander Herrera holding, Pogba on the left-hand side and Marouane Fellaini on the right-hand side. But that's not what Mourinho's going to do. I think I agree with the lads. The back four is going to be unchanged. I thought Bailly, Blin were absolutely awesome. Valencia's been getting forward very well. Luke Shaw's getting back to the level that he had last season. But I think his midfield would probably be, I hope it'll be Ander Herrera next to Paul Pogba. I thought Ander Herrera had a really good game at number 6. He completed more passes than any other player on the pitch. He played a number of good balls. Go back to the Wayne Rooney goal. Ander Herrera fizzed the ball into Juan Mata's feet, and I think that's what Ander Herrera can do if you get him into those right positions. So that's the back 6, and then I think the front 4 will be Mkhitaryan on the right-hand side, and then Wayne Rooney in the middle, Martial on the left, and Zlatan up front. If that's going to be the team, I feel that you've got to switch Zlatan with Wayne Rooney. You go back to the game, Wayne Rooney was so slow on the ball against Bournemouth. Every time he got the ball, when there was an opportunity for a counter-attack, he'd come back. The Bournemouth defence would reorganise behind him, and then Bournemouth had 8 players behind the ball. That can't happen. I feel with Zlatan, when he's a bit deeper, keeps it very simple. Controls the ball, holds someone off, plays out wide. That's what I'd rather have as a number 10 in this side. I'd rather create goals down the flanks, the old Man United way, you'd say. So I'd like to see Zlatan off Wayne Rooney. Go back to Zlatan's goal. Zlatan picked it up into a natural number 10 area in between the lines and just pinged it in the bottom corner. Again, Wayne Rooney was as a decoy, playing as a number 9 then. So I feel that this relationship can work if Zlatan plays deeper than Wayne Rooney. Get Wayne Rooney away from the ball. I don't want to see him touching the ball. I don't want to see him in central midfield. I want to see him up front in the penalty area. That's where I feel that it's his last sort of chance to be. I think the central midfield thing didn't work out. His tempo, controlling games wasn't good enough. He wasn't getting on the ball at the right times. He wasn't speeding up, slowing it down. So I feel like get him away from the ball, get Zlatan on the ball, and just give it to the likes of Mkhitaryan and Martial and let them do their thing.
Okay, thanks, Dave. If you agree or if you don't agree, get it in the comments below. Right now, we'll look at our FanDuel team of this week.
Go to fanduel.co.uk/The Football Republic to get started. If you're 18 or over, you can join the action. Enter our league for £1 for your chance to win big prizes. Build your lineup with a £100 million budget. Use the promo code DEVILS to join the Football Republic Challenge. New contests every Premier League weekend. Outscore your opponents and win cash.
So this is our FanDuel team of the week. People have been asking us for ages, guys, why aren't you doing some sort of fantasy football? We want to play with you. We want to take you on. Well, guess what? We've got a team. Howson's got a team. Adam's got a team. This guy's got a team, and you can find them all in the Football Republic FanDuel team league. FanDuel League. It's really easy to get involved. The link is in the description below, so click on that. It costs £1 each time. You get £100 million to spend each week, so you can change your 11 players every single week. Come up with the best team you can for £100 million, which is almost Paul Pogba and one other player, which is pretty tidy. Obviously, those aren't the real figures inside the game. That was a great joke from my part. So it's £1 entry, but there are loads of cash prizes. You can win up to £15,000 if you use the code DEVILS when you enter. Devils, yeah? Devils, then you can get some money back if you don't win. Superb stuff, right? Yeah, we're nice guys. So this is our team this week. We're going for 3 at the back, 4 in midfield, and 3 up front. We want loads and loads of goals. The guys at the back, like Daly, Blin, Davis, we think they're going to be very, very busy this weekend. Obviously, we've got David De Gea in goal because he's the best goalkeeper on earth of all time, on any planet, in any galaxy, in the entire universe. Go on, tell me I'm wrong. Ibrahimovic and Rooney up front with Negredo. We think there's plenty of goals there. And through the midfield, lots and lots of attacking talent. Mahrez in particular, Willian, Kayate. We're going to get goals. Hoping Shaqiri scores as well. We're going to get loads of points. Take us on, see if you can. So, Adam, Southampton on Friday. What do you know about them? What are we worried about? Are there any concerns? New manager, new team?
I know Shane Long's on fire. Not setting it up, boys, nah. No.
I'm not getting involved in that rubbish, mate.
I'm always late.
You'll sooner see me dab than do that.
Always late onto these fads, guys. Sorry. Yeah, Shane Long's quality. I like him. I think Southampton are going to be in a difficult position. I've obviously got their new manager, Pugh, coming in. A lot of changes going down at their club at the moment. But, of course, Southampton are always... I think they're more of a tricky side away from home. We've seen them come to Old Trafford and beat us. They beat us there last year. Obviously, they had Ronald Koeman, though, so there's a difference. But I still think they'll be a threat. And I think we need to make sure Long don't get near the ball. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Dave, Southampton consistently very good, regardless of the fact they keep selling their best players and also changing their manager.
I think there's something to say firstly about the Southampton system. Again, it's just phenomenal, right? And they lose their manager, lose all their key players. They're absolutely fine. They've brought in a great manager from France, Claude Paul, who's changed the system. Koeman last season was playing more of a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3. Paul's come in and he's playing a 4-3-1-2. So he's playing Tadic in the hole. He's the danger man for Southampton for me. He's the one that's going to get on the ball. He created more chances than any other player in the Premier League last weekend. He's someone that needs to be dealt with in a way. So whether it's Ander Herrera or Michael Carrick, they need to do a job on Tadic. Stopping him getting the ball or being very physical when he does get the ball. Another player you want to look at, Nathan Redmond, scored on his debut for Southampton. Was playing wide for Norwich last season on a wide right and was a bit inconsistent. Like he'd have his good games, he'd have his bad games. He'd have a game where he'd take the game by the scruff of the neck, he'd take people on, he'd create chances and so forth. He's playing as a striker now though in this system. Quite interesting. The lad can finish. He's quick. He'll hustle our defence. So he's another player that needs to be aware of that. Hopefully put Bailly up against him. Someone that can match him with his pace. Because I think that if it was Blind against Redmond, could be a bit of a mismatch. But we've seen Blind already excel dealing with quick players, so I'm not too worried there. But they're the two players there, Tadic and Redmond. Okay,
Gaz. Southampton in the last 7 seasons have finished higher than the previous season. Do you think?
Really?
Yeah, which is an incredible stat, isn't it?
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Yeah. Should we be worried?
I can't see them doing it this season. Just looking at the squad, it's not really too much to get excited about, I don't think, for Southampton fans. I think that there's, like Dave has pointed out, there's a couple of good players there. Tadic is decent, and like Adam says, Shane Long as well is okay. They are just mid-table Premiership players for me, and I think that certain players have left as well who are actually class. I hate to say it, but I rate Mane. I don't think he's like a top level Premier League player, but Liverpool is probably around his level, and they've replaced him with a player who I don't really is as good in Nathan Redmond. But Nathan Redmond, we all know the dangers that he can put at us. I only watched the Southampton game last week on Match of the Day, so it's news to me that he actually played as striker, as Dave pointed out before. I thought he was still playing on the right hand side, but yeah, he did get a good goal, and we've got to hope that the defence deals with him. And like you say, like all last season, I was saying this though with certain strikers, I was saying, if they were fast strikers, if they were big, powerful strikers, I'd be like, right, don't let them drift onto Daley Blind. Don't let that happen. And then it did happen, and he just dominated them. He did it to Lukaku in the season. He did it to plenty of fast strikers. So I'm not really that worried about them, to be honest. But as we know from the past 3 seasons, we can not be worried about teams, and they can still come Old Trafford and cause us problems. But on paper, our squad is absolutely miles better, and we should be thrashing them.
Okay, very first game at Old Trafford of the 2016-2017 season. Ibrahimovic, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Mata, Herrera, David De Gea, Bay, Shaw.
Sam,
yeah.
Say it again.
Oh, that's quite a lot of names.
Say it all again.
Pogba, Ibrahimovic, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Herrera, Shaw, Bay, Blind, Smalling, De Gea. Most of them will be on the pitch.
Romero.
What do you think the score will be,
Delaney.
Adam?
2-0 to Manchester United.
Gaz.
Was scoring.
4-1. 2 Ibrahimovic goals, 1 Pogba goal, 1 Rooney goal.
1-2 Ibrahimovic.
Okay, and Squawker Dave, your prediction, please.
I'm going to go 3-0. Ibrahimovic double and a Paul Pogba debut goal.
Okay, I'll go 3-1 because I'm running out of options because we've all gone for very different scores. Guys, thank you very much. Everybody that's watching, thank you. Please get your comments in below. Let us know what you thought of the preview, what the score will be, whether you think Pogba's going to start, and what you think of Dave's t-shirt. We'd all love that. Thanks very much. We'll see you next time. Bye.
It's properly nice.
Stephen House from Full Time Devils. This is the Full Time Review. This is the show where we talk about all the things going on in the world of Manchester United.